All right, welcome everyone into our PowerSchool September 2025 District Leader Meeting. It's a little after 9, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to share. So we were testing our audio with everyone online, so I think we're getting messages in that they can hear us, which is always a good sign that the day is going to go well. So, and online, can they see as well?
Yeah.
The presentation. Okay. All right. So again, welcome all district leaders to our September district leader meeting. We're grateful to see all of you. Those of you who've traveled here to the Columbus office, we're glad to see you. And those who are with us online virtually, we're equally as glad to see you with us today as well. Nope, you're good. We do have some news to share with our district leaders in case you had not heard. This past summer in June, Harley Moore did pass away. She was a special part of our PowerSchool team. Her laughter and smile is something that we will always remember. She is missed continually, and we just wanted to make sure we share that with you as you recall memories of her, that you will think of her family as we do. Okay. We want to start with just some welcomes. We do have quite a few new people with us at this Back to School September meeting. First of all, I think joining online, we have a new district. So Parma City School District, we want to welcome them. We have started meeting with them, and we will be going through the implementation process with them and bringing them on as a Meta PowerSchool district. So we want to say welcome to them. We also want to welcome some district leaders. There have been some changes over the summer, so we have some new district leaders that are joining us. We want to say welcome if it's your first time here with us. We try to have fun at these meetings. If you're here in person, you can have a donut. If not, you're online virtually, maybe find a donut in your offices. But we are glad that you're here. Have a virtual donut. We'll send one in the chat. There we go. We also want to extend a welcome. We have two new PowerSchool team specialist members. We have Meredith Reagan and Stephanie Weitzel, who have joined our PowerSchool team. We are super happy to have them with us. They bring with them some great PowerSchool knowledge, but more important than that, their characteristics are just exactly what we needed here on our PowerSchool team. So our puzzle is put together, and we couldn't be more happy than to have them with us. While we're talking about our team, if we can just go through, we'll start with Sarah here, just saying your name and hello.
Hi, Sarah Chambers. I'm happy to have everybody back. We missed you over the summer, so welcome back.
Margie Lee, nice to see everyone again.
Lindsay Kelly. I'm Meredith Reagan, my first district leader meeting. Happy to be here.
Chris Cartwright, see everybody.
Stephanie Weitzel, good morning.
Chris, the other Chris.
Wait for Helen Meadows.
Kimmy Anderson.
Stephen Harper.
And for those of you, we hope that you heard all those names online, but I can attest to the awesomeness of everyone that just said their name. Our team is quite fabulous. We work so well together, and it is truly an honor to work amongst all of these individuals here. You may have noticed there is someone not in the room with us who's usually here. If you haven't heard, Eric Lammers, he was the former PowerSchool manager. He is now our Chief Service Officer with Meta. We are so excited for him in this new position. We know that he will continue to do great things for all of the districts here at Meta. When you see him, you'll see him in and out of the office. He's out of the office today, otherwise he would have been here. But when you do see him, feel free to ask him how we sent him off to his new position. We did perhaps have a comedic roast where we had a good time. I don't know what his feelings were, but we are excited for him in his new position. And so that leaves me, Sally Ruddick. I'm the new PowerSchool manager. Again, just thrilled to still be on this team. And we're grateful to start the back to school year. Everybody's back in school now. We've gotten through the first days, and so we're ready for the year and the excitement that it's going to bring. Each year at our September meeting, we like to just review what the PowerSchool, the meta member PowerSchool services are. So we're going to go through those services and what that includes as a meta member with PowerSchool services. These different sections, they kind of show the flow as a district comes on board with Meta PowerSchool. So as a brand new district, they start off in the data migration process. No later than January, usually a little earlier than January, we begin meeting with those districts and we start working out the process of implementing them, how things are going to go. Our team does a fabulous job meeting with them on a regular basis. And then typically February to June is when the actual execution of that implementation takes place. Again, our team meets with them regularly and getting things set up for them to bring them on with PowerSchool services. From there, we go to the ongoing services. So all of our districts receive ongoing PowerSchool services that include PowerSchool SIS, and that within the SIS, that includes all items like attendance, course history, anything that you and your district staff do within PowerSchool. Those services are included. Additionally, Power Scheduler. So those in your district who are involved in student scheduling, we have a fabulous scheduling team, a Power Scheduler team. They start talking about scheduling late October, early November, and they continue talking about scheduling all through June and sometimes into July. So our team is very dedicated and knowledgeable with scheduling. Power Teacher Pro. So all things within the teacher gradebook and within Power Teacher Pro, those are included in the services, as well as the public portal. So that's the parent student portal. And for those of you who remember last year's meeting, we've talked about my Power Hub. We have a portion later on in this morning's meeting where we'll give you some updates about my Power Hub. Then we have state reporting, EMIS. So Meta holds the state reporting contract for PSSR for Ohio. So that means any involvement, any changes that are coming from the Ohio Department of Education. And those changes need to be implemented within PowerSchool. Our PSSR team, they take care of that and work really hard to do so.
Everybody's saying that they're going away. The sharing.
Okay. Momentary pause for dramatic effect here. Yeah, that's what we need, some backup music for when. How about now? Can they see? And
Yeah.
listen, Chat and I are becoming fast friends. The capabilities are endless. All right, are we back? Everybody can see? Okay. All right, so we were talking about EMIS. So yes, so the state reporting, so those changes that need to take place in PowerSchool, our PSSR team, they implement those changes within PowerSchool. In addition to that, we have EMIS coordinator training and regular EMIS coordinator support. So that is also included in those services. Enterprise management solutions. So Meta hosts your servers, your PowerSchool servers, and we use PowerSchool's EMS services, which include servers, the updates, the version upgrades and updates, and continually monitoring. So they have continuous monitoring. They notify us immediately if there is an issue with any of our servers. And lastly, we have extended services. Within the extended services, the customizations catalog and cross-check are available for free for our member PowerSchool districts. We are extremely proud and we put a lot of work into both of those services. We find the benefits just endless with those items. Additionally, any miscellaneous development work and any assistance with third-party vendor connections, We're happy to assist with those. You'll remember we've talked about this before in the past with those third-party vendors. We're not responsible for writing scripts or maintaining those, but we're happy to assist with those connections as needed. And then here are some PowerSchool services that are not covered by Meta membership. So you can see this is not an all-inclusive list, but these are some of the bigger items that a lot of districts utilize, and you can see them here. Student Information Cloud, so that's any of your PowerSchool enrollment, Enrollment Express, eCollect. We don't need to go through all the lists, but Schoology, Naviance, Data and Analytics, PowerBuddy, all of those items, those are add-on items from PowerSchool. And we do not stand up or support them here on our core PowerSchool team. So any questions or issues that may arise with those services, those would need to be directed towards PowerSchool. And our district leaders, so all of you with us here today. So on this slide, which is shared in our Meta documentation site, you'll see a link to the district leader information and quick links document. So within that document, it outlines some roles and responsibilities that you carry as a district leader. With our districts, you can have 1 to 3 district leaders who act as trainers for your staff. Unfortunately, we're not able to meet with and support every single user within your districts. And that's where we rely on you as district leaders to help answer those questions and look at those issues that may arise within your districts. And we're here, you've heard it before, we have a train the trainer model. So our goal is to provide you all of the information, all of the tools that you will need to know to better assist those users within your district. Things still come up and issues still come up where you may have questions, and that's where we're here to help with those. But as district leaders, communication is such a key piece of what your role is. And within that, we encourage and would like you to attend the district leader meetings. We have those bi-monthly starting this month, September through May. We encourage participation. We put a lot of work into providing updates for you and information that we give to you that you then again take back to your district users. Additionally, again, providing that support for your district staff and communicating with them the information that we share with you as they need it. Also, data management. So as a district leader, you maintain the security levels for the staff within your district. Who has access to what? You guys as district leaders know that who needs to have what accesses and things. You oversee data analysis within your district, and you support the start of year and end of year process as well as scheduling tasks. So you have probably people within your district that help. Hi, Zach. You have people in your district that help with those processes, but you're helping to support them, making sure that they attend those start of year, end of year trainings, and they have those checklists. And same with scheduling. You're helping to support those who are going to be scheduling within your district, that they know when those workday sessions are and they know what needs to be done when. Also, professional development. So again, we encourage district leaders to attend Meta trainings. We know that a lot of you are expert levels in PowerSchool, but things do change, updates do happen. And it's nice if you are able to attend our trainings for the purpose of, again, taking that knowledge to the users within your district. When you onboard new staff member, making sure that they are trained and they have the resources that they need to be successful in their positions as they work in PowerSchool. And then reviewing the Meta events calendar. We put our trainings on the calendar where users can attend district leader meetings. District leaders are invited to attend, but our other trainings, again, as applicable, we would love to see any of your district staff attend those trainings as they need to assist with their roles. And then our tiered level of support. So again, that tier 0 support, that's what we call the self-service support level. That is where you're utilizing the resources available to you and you're digging in to try and find the information. Documentation, whether that be meta documentation or PowerSchool, community articles, knowledge-based articles. If you're watching our YouTube channel, or AI. AI is ever evolving, so that is something, a resource and a tool that we are using as well within our team. But again, it's that level where you're digging in and trying to troubleshoot on your own. And then the tier 1 support. So those are the questions that come in from your district staff. Those come to you. They turn to you when they have a question or they have an issue. And you, at this point, you're collecting the information from them. Sometimes they don't give you all the information. You know, it's good to have a student example or a class, a course name or a course number and section, things that are happening. You're gathering that information to help vet out what the issue is. And then you're trying your troubleshooting skills to solve what the issue is. At that point, that's where we come in. If there are still issues, you reach out to us. That's where we come in as the PowerSchool team, and we help you out with that. We take a look at what's going on. We ask you all the information you've gathered, the troubleshooting you've done, and then we assist to get the problem resolved. There are times where things do need to be escalated to PowerSchool, and that's where the tier 4 support tier 3 support comes in, PowerSchool. So there are, again, things that we need to reach out to them sometimes to help. There may be a bug and they, you know, those known bugs get built into the next version updates. So we escalate those and help vet those out as we come across them. All right, so we talked about arming yourselves and your district users with available resources. So here is a list of some of those resources. We have our meta documentation site. So all of you, we're going to show some information later this morning about our meta documentation site, but making sure your users know how to access that. Logging into your PowerSchool admin portal, clicking on that help icon, accessing that documentation. It's available for all of the users. So we want to make sure they know where that's at. The Meta PowerSchool YouTube channel, all of our trainings, we post them onto the YouTube channel. So those who aren't able to make trainings or meetings, they can watch them later. What is nice, if you subscribe to the channel, you can turn on notifications. You'll be notified. You'll get an alert every time a video is uploaded. So again, if users want to kind of stay on top of what we're putting out there, you could do that. Meta Salesforce. So Salesforce is our ticket portal where those questions come in that you need our assistance with. That is the resource for you as district leaders to submit those questions and inquiries via Salesforce. And then from PowerSchool, so PowerSchool Community. The community, it's a community-focused customer support portal for all of PowerSchool products. So it's available to all district and staff users. It includes teachers, admin, IT staff. So all of your users have access to community to search for various topics and items that they may be interested in learning about or have questions about. PowerSchool Insider. So the Insider is a collection of videos by Jason Springle, information, news, updates, tips, tricks, how-to. He posts those pretty regularly, those videos. Some of his a lot of the videos are, he'll do like the what's new with the latest release. But he also has some where he does deep dives into certain topics. I think GPA maybe was one that was recent. I'm not remembering, but he takes a topic and he'll do a deep dive into it. So they're, you know, some of them are 30 minutes, some of them hour and 30 minutes. But again, those videos are available to watch in small pieces if you want, but they are full of a lot of knowledge. I really like Jason's videos. And then of course, PowerSource. So the PowerSource, the Exchange, and the developer site, this resource, it's focused on product downloads and geared toward those who do those downloads with those plugin items from the Exchange, or maybe a technical contact within your district who needs access to the developer site. but that's also an available resource. And then with Salesforce, with our Salesforce ticket portal, some of you as district leader meetings, you may have already experienced, seen this email. We have a Meta Solutions service ticket follow-up. So in order for us to continually improve our customer service, we have implemented random surveys on closed Salesforce cases, tickets. The survey is sent via an email. Once the case is closed, that email comes to you. It is random. It is not on all closed cases. So it's a random one that's sent out. But if you receive it in your email, we would appreciate any of your feedback. It's a short survey. You can see it listed here. There's about 9 questions. So it's a brief survey, but there is a section where you can offer any feedback. Again, our goal is to always provide quality customer service, and we are always looking for ways that we can improve and do better. So if you receive one, we would appreciate if you would take just a couple of minutes to fill that out. And then lastly, just a huge thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate all that you do, especially this time of year, the back to school time of year where there is never a dull moment. There's always an email to reply to, a phone to answer, door to open to let someone in. We know how busy you are. We appreciate all of your efforts and what you do for your districts. We love working with each of you. It is truly, we have a lot of fun. And so we're just extremely grateful for you. And it's going to be a great school year. So, all right. Ta-da. All right, so we'll get back to our agenda here. And let's see, I think next we'll have Margie and Sarah talking about what's new with the PowerSchool release update. So I'm going to stop I'm going to continue my share, but I'm going to mute. Let me
Let's do it. All righty, are you doing it?
Yeah,
All right.
thanks.
Can you hear me? Everybody hear me?
Can you see our screen?
And can you see our screen? All right, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't
But
see
I'm
it
not
up
seeing
there.
it up there.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Again, welcome. We're really happy to see everybody, all your smiling faces, and we know all you people out there who joined virtually. You're all smiling too. So we want to talk about what's new. Some of this stuff you may have already seen. So 25.5 through 25.8. I think we are actually on 25.7. Is that right, Sally?
We are, yes, and we're,
Yes.
yep,
And we will be updating to 25.8
next Saturday, the
next
20th.
Saturday. So, while a lot of this stuff you'll see right now, you won't see the 25.8 stuff until next Saturday. So if you're looking for it and you're like, well, they said it's there, where is it? Wait till next Saturday. So Margie has put together this fabulous little presentation on what's new. We will say that Sally talked about Jason Springle and his insider. This is where we get a lot of our information. So we highly encourage you to do that. And Margie will talk about resources again towards the end of this presentation.
All right, here we go. First up, this is just letting you know, please complete your monthly checklist to keep your data accurate and up to date. This is a live document, so if any feedback that you guys have to help improve this, suggestions are always welcome. So bring it on. All right, we're just going to dive right in. The 25.5 new features and enhancements. I will actually be talking about the new searches, the fee management, reporting updates, and the Power Teacher Pro area. On the right there, you'll see some of the others that were talked about in the Insider. And I'm not going to go through those, but these are things that are going to be coming our way sooner than later, just so you know. So if you want to go in and get a heads up on what we're doing with incident management, updates and things like that, it is going to be coming our way. Some of the new searches that we have out there is enrollment summary updates. A helpful enhancement now allows the federal ethnicity and race data to be accessed directly from the district office. So you can now pull this up from the district office, which is really nice because I just think that that was really hard to not be able to get all of your information as a district versus each building. So this actual picture here shows that the current student selection is 0. When you access the school management and then the enrollment summary page, it now defaults to displaying all active enrollments. So you don't have to have a selection on the home page. You can go right here and you can get all of your information, or you can select it and then do your current selection. Either way, your choice. I just think it's a really nice update that they did. The other one is searching for counselors. And this is just a minor update. When you're using your counselor equals in your search command on the start page, the results will now display counselors assigned to a student, including any additional ones beyond the primary counselor. So if you have more than one counselor on each kid, you're going to see all those counselors pulled up at once. Easy peasy. All right, here we go, Sarah.
Okay, so we all know about PowerSchool fees. I'm not even going to go there. We all know about PowerSchool fees, but for the first time in many years, they have made some enhancements, some improvements. So they say improvements. So there's a fee management enhancement. You're going to from students over to student fees and fee management. Now it will, it's an overview. It will let you view all the fees in your school. If you're accessing it from the district, you can see across the entire district. When you select the district office, you'll have the option to choose a specific building. So this is a new screen. The fee management page displays data exclusively for the current school year. So even if you change your school year, it's not going to change this page. It is current school year is what it's showing. Where are we?
Down here.
You can select up to 100 records at a time and apply the filters across multiple criteria. So you want to see the fee type and the due date. So multiple criteria, it will allow you to do that. If you select the download report button, you can choose from any or all of these. Margie did the presentation.
Sorry, she's trying to read.
I'm trying to read it on my little itty bitty screen. You can choose from any or all of those and download them into a CSV file. So that makes it easier to work with your fees. Again, that's all brand new.
Yeah.
And then we have updates to the actual fee transaction page. So on this slide, Marky's put what it was with 24 dot whatever and what it is with 25.5. And the new thing is that couple new things. One is PowerSchool created a new general ledger field, and which we've had forever, but ours is a little different than theirs. Ours is long. Theirs, I believe, is using code sets and it's limited to maybe 40 characters. So originally we had planned to obsolete ours and just use theirs. but some people have put a lot of stuff and it doesn't migrate easily. If you want to use that GL code field, you can go in and manually do it, or you can leave it where it's at. Not everybody uses that customization, but the GL code that you see on the fee transaction screen will be from PowerSchool's new one, not from our custom one. Instead of, well, here's what's really new is this create fee button. So before you had that drop down where it said create a new fee, and you would choose your type of fee and then you would fill it in. Now you have a create fee button that when you click on it, are we on there?
Yeah, here.
Okay. When you click on that create fee button, it's all in one screen. So you select your fee type on that screen.
Yep.
It all happens on that new fee page. So Margie's done a couple screens here. There you go. So what it looked like before was you chose that fee type on the previous screen. And then it took you here and it was already there. And if you messed up and you chose the wrong thing, you had to go back and you would lose everything that you had done. So this is actually better where you're choosing the fee type on this screen. So that was a positive change they made. The category, it appears after the fee type is selected. If you use a category,
Right.
the transaction date is now called date added. Wow.
Why? We don't know.
I know somebody's like, well, the people won't figure out what transaction date is. Let's call it date added. Right.
Right.
Rich
Yes.
said that's still not correct because if you're doing it before school starts, it's you use the first day of school.
Right.
So
There you
yes,
have it.
that is true. The other thing they added is if you are typing in a course number, as you type in, like in her example, ENG, it starts giving you that smart text. So you can see it on your list and just select it from the list. And then once you've selected it, you can edit or remove that course if you chose the wrong one. And the fields related to the payment, move to another optional area. So instead of, and this was a little bit confusing for people because as I'm putting in a new fee, I had that thing about payment. What does that mean? Why do I have that there? Now you can go over to under the new one and click on manually add payment. And then that box pops up. So they just kind of rearrange some stuff to try to make it more user-friendly. So the result is a streamlined fee entry experience. But that's what it looks like. And for those who are using fees, and we know not everybody uses PowerSchool fees, you're already seeing, you've already seen this.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
And
Onward.
So there's,
So
this is
My Power Hub. Yep.
Margie's talking about this.
Okay, the My Power Hub, I believe this is a paid part of My Power Hub, but please don't hold me to that. Don't quote me on that because I haven't been able to investigate it far enough in to My Power Hub to see it, but I do think it's a paid product of the My Power Hub. So you'll be able to make a payment and manage your payments right here in My Power Hub instead of going somewhere else. So if you click on that Add to Cart button, it'll take you right to the payment page where you can review your payment summary and enter your payment details quite easily. So I do kind of like that because it's what we're all used to seeing is removing stuff, adding stuff, going back, making your payments. And then eventually it will be supported with Google Pay and Apple Pay. It's just not quite there yet. So then once you click on your complete payment, You'll receive a summary, a confirmation of your transaction. Woo-hoo, job well done. Send it to me, Margie Lee, okay? If you have any questions, talk to me later. All right. One other thing with this is it will be available on the mobile apps too, because we know that for most of us, managing everything on the go is what we do, and it's on that little device that we carry with us every day. So it's a nice little handy thing. Again, that's my Power Hub. I'm not sure, but I think it's a paid product for my Power Hub.
And
Okay.
Chris is going to confirm that.
Yeah, you can-
Yeah.
My part.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll-
great. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Some of the other stuff new are some report menus, object reports, form letters, report cards, templates, mailing labels. List of pages have been updated to the school and teacher can print columns. In other words, it's eliminating you from having to drill down into each report to access your information. If you have it there, it'll be readily available on that report. When you go to click that, you can see who can and who can't see it.
Which is a good improvement.
It is a good improvement, I agree. So some of the object report enhancements that are on the Insider, the cosmetic updates, the duplicate reports, I will not get into the last two for the simple fact that that's object reports. We don't do a lot with object reports, but if you have any questions about it or have issues with your object reports, please put in a ticket and we'll be happy to troubleshoot that. Right, Steve?
Yeah, we will give you ticket. Ticket to Steve.
Happy.
Steve will be happy to take care of it.
There you go.
Right, yeah.
Vacation.
Okay,
Big report tickets go to Steve.
that's right. So I will go through a couple of these.
We're not kidding.
These are minor cosmetic updates that have been applied to the margins, which display the start, top, end, and bottom instead of left, top, right, and bottom. Don't ask me, I just give the information. And they also added the X, Y, and Z coordinates. On the bottom one, the text links have been replaced with functional buttons. So the nice thing to this entire report is the duplicate report feature. So if you go to duplicate a report now, you can rename it and submit it with ease. However, as you can see, it says access to duplicate button is based on access to import existing report template page. So that's going to be up to the DLs, I would assume, to give that access if you wanted to. But in other words, yes, it is easy to duplicate a report because, you know, that was troublesome sometimes to have to do that. So I do like this if you are doing those. She's up again. Be ready.
Okay. Margie finished this like at 11:30 last night, so I haven't actually seen it. So let's go.
All right, let's do it. Power Teacher Pro.
All right. So Power Teacher Pro, they have made some navigation enhancements. And as you've probably already seen, because I think this was done in 25,
It was
5,
25.
6, it already looks like this.
Mhm.
So it's their fresher look, it's lighter, they have stuff in turquoise and, you know. So those tickets that we've had up there for like 5 or 6 years did not get worked on, but
Right.
we have some nice, pretty turquoise stuff in the office. I'm sorry. I was up really late last night. Okay. The top navigation bar has been adjusted to the right. And instead of displaying Power Teacher Pro in the top left corner, a back arrow now appears. So we're that little current classes, there's an arrow. This change helps prevent confusion, as some teachers were previously closing out of Power Teacher Pro to get back to the home screen or the attendance page. I don't know that that will fix that issue.
Correct.
Again, that's, you know, hey. The reports queue icon has been updated. Instead of a bell, they've changed it to a piece of paper. I guess that's so it looks more like the admin side to match where it looks like elsewhere in PowerSchool.
Right.
In Power Teacher Pro, the student groups has been renamed to My Students Groups to better align with similar features found in Schoology, Performance Matters, and MTSS. I don't even know what that is. Okay. Multiple categories. Now this is new. And so now when you make an assignment, you have to give it a category. Now you are able to give it multiple categories.
Yeah.
So a secondary category as part of the traditional grade calculation formula is also available. So you can set up your traditional grade calculation to have the different categories. I would say that this is, and Margie has put a link to the video, the YouTube video. I would say you want to watch that and you want to give that link to your teachers so they can watch it. As a reminder, in Power Teacher Pro, when a teacher goes to the grade book, there's always that little video that they can click on that says what's new. I would encourage them to watch that. They can go up to the help menu. They can search for things like categories and multiple categories and have all of that at their fingertips. Sometimes you just need to remind them that that information is there. So if you want to use the multiple categories, the new configuration settings need to be enabled before the teachers will see that. If multiple grade calculations are not pushed from the admin portal, teachers have a new preference they must enable before they can set their own grade calculation to be based on multiple categories. So in your Power Teacher Pro settings is where you'd want to go do that. But again, I would encourage you to watch that video.
I agree. All right. We're going to move on to the 25.6 new features and enhancements. And actually on this one where the teachers can now review the values for the traditional grade calculation, again, that's in that video from July, I think is when they did that one this year, that YouTube. So it's a really good one to watch. Your enterprise reporting. We will have enterprise reporting power hour coming in mid to late October. So if you're interested in that enterprise reporting and you've been on it recently, it does look a little bit different, has some different color changes and things like that. But we will be doing that enterprise reporting. Those that are interested, I really think it's a good one, a good tool to use.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I wanted to say. Enterprise reporting seems to be underutilized. It's really powerful. You can slice and dice information and make those reports look like yours and do versions of the reports. So it really is a great tool.
I agree.
So
Yep.
if you can come to that power hour, that would be super.
Yep. The other ones are the notification of student observation. Again, that is dealing with your incident management side, which we will be showing probably in November is when we're going to present that to everyone. A lot of material in that, so you want to make sure you're staying and paying attention in that one. And the stability updates for the server side of Power Scheduler. They really didn't show a lot in here because I really think we're going to get more into Power Scheduler in November. So these were the updates for the 25.6. I can show you some of the resolved issues that they had. The bulk comments now work for dropped students. The assignment table properly updates the data when loading an assignment. Power Scheduler has improved the error warning messaging. And then the student observations. Feedback now displays the administrator's name. Observations on the last day of school year are now properly displayed. Questions?
One of the things about in the release notes, which you have access to, go read them, look through them. Not everything in the release notes applied to, maybe none of us had an issue that is in that release note.
Right.
So it doesn't mean that, oh, gee, I didn't know this was happening. It may not have been happening for you. So just as you read through those,
Mhm.
keep that in mind.
Okay. And then the 25.7, a lot of the stuff on the right there was a review from what we've already done, your fee types and things. You can go in and watch those on the Insider, but it's just a good tool that you see all the options that are there. A lot of it, again, we've already done. The new table details button has been added to the DDE, DDA, and the direct export, the data export manager. I can show you kind of what that looks like. So if you're clicking on that box to the right there of your table, you would see all of the data dictionary information for that particular table. And that is available right now in your PowerSchool. So if you're on any of those DDE, DDA, or the DEM, you will see that information in there. And the release note, the resolved issues for the 25.7 are right here available. The DEM scheduled templates will no longer export more records than the designated limit. Modify access privileges for the student contact management and daily bulletin set pages is working properly. I won't go on and read the rest of those. I know you guys can all read, or you wouldn't be in the position you're in. There you go. Okay, and then the 25.8 features, there weren't a lot, but the attendance bridge is explained more. And actually, for the new users with district leaders, it is a really nice one. It takes about 7 to 10 minutes to find it there on the Insider. In a nutshell, they go to the attendance preferences and it explains the one-way, and it also explains the two-way. So in short, the two-way syncing, the admin office staff updates attendance. The teacher will no longer be able to make changes to that attendance. So it's crucial that you read or go through those two. I really like the two-way because if your teacher's taking that attendance in the morning and then that kid's absent, and then they come in 20 minutes later when that teacher does, when the admin side puts that update in, the teacher no longer has access to change that. So it's a nice little feature. And it's not news, weather, and sports, but it's release notes, data dictionaries, and Insider Index, the life of PowerSchool. So if you click on those links, it'll take you to release notes, the data dictionaries, and the Insider Index. I truly, truly think it's important that you go in and look at these through the PowerSchool community. It's a nice access to everything you need, you guys. So,
And if you don't have a PowerSchool community log on, you don't have an account, you can go to PowerSchool community and create an account and log in.
Yep.
And you'll need to do that to get to the Insider
agree.
Index.
And there are 2 resolved issues there that I don't think I need to go through and read those for you guys. So, any questions on any of that?
It's what's new.
That's right. Here we go.
That's all.
That's all, folks. We're done.
Love that.
Mhm. Maybe.
All right. Thanks, Margie and Sarah. Let's see what we have. So next we have Lindsay. Lindsay's going to be talking to us about some bell schedule updates. And following Lindsay, we'll just go right after that. Chris Townsend, he has some updates with Brad Nickel, who's joining us, talking about My Power Hub.
There we go.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
No, gosh, anybody else? Don't make me feel like I'm in the room by myself. Okay, so I apologize for anyone who I know I think we've covered bell schedules in 5 trainings so far this year or over the summer, but we've had over a dozen tickets already since the start of school. So we want to hit this topic again because bell schedules are huge. So if my PowerPoint will work correctly here, there we go. So bell schedules. We can only have one bell schedule per day. The calendar can only host one bell schedule. So please keep that in mind. We've had a couple of people ask if we can have 2 different schedules. That is a no-go for PowerSchool. We can only do one per day. The other thing that we want to remind you of, when you create your bell schedule, the end of your period time, there should not be a gap to the start of the next period. So we want to keep those concurrent. So we end at 9:29, we're going to start at 9:30. If you do have a gap and you use the Find Me alert in your building, the staff members will not be able to find those students during the gap because they're really not associated to a course or to a period, right? So the PowerSchool can't say, oh, find me. The student is not there for that 4-minute period, okay? So it's super important we don't put the gaps in. And something else that Margie and I learned, I think it was last week, we actually have a district who does a late arrival course. So this was super fascinating. We did not know it would actually function this way, but they mark that course as a non-instructional time. So do you do that too, Toby? Okay, awesome. What they had not done well or not done the best was that their period ended at 9:25. Next period didn't start till 9:30. So that student actually started being counted absent at 9:26. So that's the other really important thing. What they call their walk time, you want to move that period all the way to the end, to the 9:29. So then at 9:30, that is when the attendance will start accumulating for that student. So super cool feature that we were really excited to see works well. Next, Margie kind of touched on the bridge period. There's one bridge period per bell schedule. So whether that be your homeroom period, your first period, whatever you designate, that is the period that's going to take your attendance from the meeting attendance in the teacher gradebook, and it's going to transition it over to the daily attendance. Super important if you have auto calls communicating from a third-party vendor that you have the correct period set up for attendance. So it's actually reporting the right period. And then the other thing to remember about a bell schedule, we've seen it quite a bit so far this year. You have to have at least a 20 or 30 minute, I think.
20 to 30.
Amos, anyone confused?
Yeah, Susan said it can be 20.
Okay. You have to have a lunch period in your bell schedule. You have to designate that time that student is getting a lunch. So we've seen a lot of bell schedules this year that don't include a lunch period. So please make sure that is in your bell schedule. Okay. We've seen this over and over and over again. Once attendance is associated to a bell schedule, it cannot be deleted or it's going to orphan that attendance. So we have to create a whole new bell schedule. So that's why we try to push before we start school and any attendance is associated, please make sure those bell schedules are correct. So if you're updating one bell schedule, that means you have to go in and update all of your bell schedules. So, you know, I don't know about in Columbus area, but I know in Marion, we've already had a 2-hour delay. My daughter was ecstatic, but we already have bell schedules messed up because maybe the regular bell schedule had been updated, but the 2-hour delay bell schedule had not been updated. So we always want to make sure, especially, you know, in Ohio, we're going to get calamity days, no doubt about it. Please make sure those other special bell schedules are updated. And then after you update your bell schedule, you have to make sure that you go in and you associate that new bell schedule with your calendar. So friendly little reminders about bell schedules, but we've had lots of questions about them. So we just wanted to review them again. If you have questions, please feel free to put in a ticket. I know this week we sat and just kind of almost did like an Excel sheet with a district because of their unique scenario that they have different grades on different schedules, but we can help you put those into your bell schedule correctly to make it all work as smoothly as possible. Okay? Any questions in the room? Perfect. Thank you.
There was an online.
Oh, was there? I'm sorry.
It says, does the lunch requirement apply to students who have almost 14 and higher?
Uh,
That was my answer.
I,
If they're attending out of the district.
okay. Helen says if they are attending at the district, then yes. Oh,
Thank you.
it won't let me get my button. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Okay, hopefully you all can hear me well.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So yeah, again, appreciate everybody's time today. I'm going to take just a moment to talk a little bit about my Power Hub. Just want to kind of give a quick rundown of that, and then I'm going to hand things over to my partner over at PowerSchool, Brad Nickel, who's going to give us a nice visual walkthrough of kind of current state of my Power Hub, as well as some pretty cool stuff that's going to be upcoming. So first, let's just start with this. Just what is my Power Hub? For anybody that isn't familiar. So I think PowerSchool calls it a family engagement platform that brings together grades, attendance, assignments, and more in one intuitive, user-friendly interface, which is a really fancy, pretty way of saying it's a new and improved student parent portal, which is awesome. So it is currently available. It's ready to be implemented. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I don't have a PowerPoint right now. I'm just giving a couple of points, and then I'm going to let Brad take over it because he's going to take the bulk of this so he can actually see video of it. Thought live video might be nicer than just screenshots. So again, it is available now. I think right now as it stands, if I remember right, we've got close to about a quarter of the districts that have had it implemented. Now, I want to stress on that because that's one question that we get a lot. Implementation does not necessarily mean actively being used for all students right now. We have, I think, one, maybe two districts that are utilizing it for students, and I think it's awesome. But what our goal is right now is we want to get My Power Hub installed and running for everyone. The reason we're doing that, one, it's a major upgrade from the traditional student or parent-student portal. It does offer a much more user-friendly and intuitive interface. Additionally, something that a lot of people are going to love, you may remember the parent-student portal. Traditionally, we said mobile app doesn't support the portal. You should use the website or tell parents to use the website. Parents don't like to listen sometimes. They still use the app. It creates issues. My Power Hub is mobile app friendly. So that's a huge improvement in and of itself. And the new hub actually consolidates data from lots of different PowerSchool tools and different district platforms into one nice hub that kind of shows you everything. So pretty cool. As far as kind of a timetable, what this is all about, as I'd mentioned, implementing this for your district does not necessarily mean going live and displaying this to all parents and students. The reason we're trying to get people started on this now is Meta Solutions, not specifically PowerSchool themselves, but Meta Solutions does plan on kind of doing a sunset of the parent-student portal for the 26-27 school year. Meaning we're trying to get My Power Hub up and running now so everybody can get comfortable with it. They have the entire year to get comfortable, understand it, make sure it's configured the way that they want, with the idea being that at the start of the 26-27 school year, districts will be ready to run with it. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you couldn't choose to use the parent-student portal if that's what you wanted to use, but I will explain that in our sunsetting of this, that means the customizations that we've put into the portal, we're not going to be putting additional effort to keep those updated or maintained. So any customizations done to the portal, anything like that, that wouldn't be something that we would really be putting our resources into because we're putting them into My Power Hub. So just be aware of those things. Again, that means the sooner that you get this implemented, the more time you have now to get comfortable with it, understand it. It's a pretty simple and intuitive thing. It's really kind of cool. You may remember the old platform. If you wanted a custom link on the side, it was reaching out to us. Then we were reaching out to the developers. Then there was a bunch of development work just so you could get an extra link on the side of, for your parents to get to on the portal. The new system is much easier with that. So you have a lot more flexibility in it. Also, how can you get it implemented? There was a district leader email that was sent out a while back that included a link to a bookings page that would allow you to book an appointment with us. I will make sure that gets sent out again so that everybody can get signed up with that. So that'll be coming very soon again, just so you guys have that access. But it's very simple. You just find a time slot that works for you, book it, and Brad and I will meet you on that day, and we'll get this up and running. Implementation usually takes an hour or less. So this isn't something that you're going to have have hours working on to get it up and running. It's about an hour of commitment, and then you'll have a fully functioning My Power Hub that you can play with as an educator and then release to your parents and students and teachers and everything as you see fit, at least for this year. So with all of that said, I'm going to hand things over to my counterpart, Brad here, who is going to jump in, share his screen, and show us what this is all about.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Sally, for having me. Logistical issue. Can you promote me to an organizer so I can share my screen? Wonderful. Thank you. All right. So to introduce myself, my name is Brad Nickel. I'm a product manager over here at PowerSchool. I work closely, or I'm on the My Power Hub team, and I work closely with a lot of the integrations across PowerSchool. So I get into a lot of the backing applications. My specialty is more in the users, security, and integrations pieces. But I also do have some responsibilities to actually build some of what we call our power tiles. So I'm going to show you what My Power Hub looks like. And with My Power Hub, you get 3 new URLs. They are different than the PowerSchool SIS parent portal or the PowerSchool SIS teacher portal. They are My Power Hub URLs. So you do have some control about how you want to distribute those and how you want to roll it out to your district. If you want to start with a small group, if you want to keep it for yourself so that you become comfortable with it, then bring in principals and teachers, and eventually you'll just end up distributing it out to your parents and your students. At that point in time, it's typically you remove the links to PowerSchool SIS from your website, from your parent and student documentation, and you start to publish the My Power Hub documents. So like Chris said, it is a more modern version of the PowerSchool SIS parent portal. And our first focus was on parents. We also view it as a single pane of glass. So if you have multiple PowerSchool applications, they start to become housed, and it's a single place for your parents and students to go to get all of their tools and all of the applications that they have from PowerSchool. We didn't stop just with PowerSchool applications. You're going to see the ability that you can now link other applications into PowerSchool so that you can give easy access to your parents and students to other resources if that's the way that you work inside of your district. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to warn you that we have multiple versions of My Power Hub. The version that I'm going to show you includes our upgraded communication features. So Sally and Chris in the Meta team are providing what we call our base PowerSchool SIS Power Tiles version to you. So Brad, I will. Yep.
One second. Sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing screen right now? Because we're not seeing it. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure.
I want to caveat before because it's going to look a little bit different.
Apologies.
Yep. No worries. So with the PowerSchool SIS Power Tile version only. There won't be any communication features. You're going to see those communication features today, because what I partially want to show you, and I am not part of the sales organization, is that single pane of glass, so that we're integrating communications, we're integrating additional PowerSchool products, all inside of the parent and student portal. Okay. So this is my Power Hub. So I've logged in as a parent here. Starting from the left-hand side, I have the ability to switch between my different students. And you can start to see I land on an overview page. So the idea here is these power tiles are giving me the snippet of information. We like to think of it as 80% of what the parents will need to know. And in your version, you're going to have out of the gate grades, assignments, schedule, attendance, forms, fees, and school bulletin. So all of those are included with the basic PowerSchool SIS power tiles. The communication features that you see here are newsfeed, calendar, directory, and PowerSchool messaging. That is our Connect suite that can be activated inside of my Power Hub, and it's more of the communication features. What you're also seeing now is integrations with additional applications. So we have Power Tiles for special programs. We have Power Tiles for School Messenger Communicate. We have Power Tiles for Safe Arrival. We have behavior support that are all currently included inside of my Power Hub if you have those applications with PowerSchool. So the idea here is that a parent can come in, I can quickly see the grades for my student, I can quickly see the assignments for my student, but I need some more information. So you can see I've landed on the overview page, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at these grades. Now I'm going inside of the Power Tile, and I can see additional information. I can see all of the quarters, I can see past years, I can see quarter by quarter, semester by semester. However this is set up inside of PowerSchool SIS is how the Power Tiles will display the information. So you do control it from PowerSchool SIS. These are the grades that are coming in, and this is what the parents would be able to see. I can also navigate back to the overview screen, and I want to see some information. Let me hide you real quick about these assignments. So I can click on the assignments. Now I'm inside the assignments power tile. I can see what's upcoming, what was recent, what was missing, and I can go through. I can also see additional information about these assignments if necessary. One call out that I do like to make is we are starting to integrate with Schoology. So today's Schoology assignments do show up in the calendar. If you have the Schoology application, your parents can view Schoology assignments by due date, and we are getting ready to release a new power tile for Schoology assignments as well. With my Power Hub, we do weekly releases, so there's constant change. There's constant improvements. We add additional features, and you get release notes on a weekly basis for the things that are changing. In addition to just the basic power tiles that we have, we also give you the ability to link to specific pages. So we have two ways of doing this. We have resource links, which I consider to be a deep link. So for you guys, pretty much one of the main links that we add that Chris and I typically do when we activate my Power Hub for you is we can link you directly to the meta report card. So your parents would come in, they would click on the on the resource links. We would have a report card here, and what happens is we take you directly back into PowerSchool SIS. We strip out some of the navigation, and the parent or the student lands directly on the report card. We do not restrict you from adding PowerSchool SIS direct links. You can use third-party direct links. You can put anything that you want inside of your resource links. Typically, it's a deep link. So with deep links in a product that is not using PowerSchool SIS as the authentication system, like my Power Hub does, it will ask them to log in. It could drop them on a welcome page, and then the second click through will take them directly to where the deep link is. That's just inherent with how third-party deep links work. That's not a PowerSchool thing. That's just technology. So that's the resource links. We also allow you to add applications and you could publish them to your students, your parents, your educators. And again, you can add any application here. So a lot of the districts that I work with, if you're not using, say, fees inside of PowerSchool Sys, maybe you're using PaySchool Central, you can add PaySchool Central here. And typically this would take, what we ask for is the login page for that application. And that'll take your parents directly to the login page. And once they log into PaySchool Central, they'll just land on that welcome page inside of PaySchool Central. They can do whatever they want. It could be Final Forms. It could be whatever applications that you have here. In addition to that, it could also be a PowerSchool application. As if you are using App Switcher today, you know that PowerSchool does not offer a parent-student App Switcher. So if you do have PowerSchool applications that you want parents and students to go to, you are free to add them to the application menu, and now you can serve up those links directly to your parents and students as well. So that's the parent view. I'll talk a little bit about the communication pieces just so that you get an idea of it. The news feed, we talk about it similar to like a Facebook wall. So your teachers have the ability to post to their sections. They can post announcements, they can post updates, they can post pictures about the holiday party, and they can share those with the guardians and with the students. As your guardians and students log in, that's what's here. The front left is the news feed. In addition to that, with the calendar, teachers are able to publish events. Maybe it's parent-teacher conferences, maybe it's a holiday party, maybe it's after-school tutoring sessions, but the events will show up for the parents and the students inside the calendar. Then we have what we call directory, and this gives your parents the ability to search for staff within the building. You do have some controls about this I'll show you in a minute. That are located inside of the admin section of my PowerHub, but your parents would be able to search for staff members. And then we have this department section, which I personally think is one of the nicer features for this communication package. And so what this allows you to do is to publish the school's phone number, the address, a school website. And then we have this department section, which is not the departments from the district, but it's from the parent and student perspective. So real life story, my son graduated from high school. He was there for 12 years within the district. And to this day, I still don't know how to call him off sick. So if I had something like this, I could never find it on the Springboro website, how to call him off. 6:30 in the morning, it's not an activity that I really like to do. I would be able to log into my PowerHub. I could see the attendance office. I could see the phone number. I could see the email. And this could be customizable. You can do one or the other. But I would easily be able to call him off if I know this information. So that's the idea of the directory. We also have PowerSchool messaging. So this is a chat feature that your teachers and your parents and your students would be able to use. Again, you have controls as to who can start conversations. And if a conversation has been sent to a parent and parents can't start conversations, they still can receive it and it could respond back to the teacher. There's also groups that are available inside of messaging, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit as well. Any questions on the parent side? If not, I'm going to jump right into the admin side. So typically when I'm talking, yep.
We did have one quick question, Brad, sorry. Asking if you know approximately when the Schoology tile should be available and functioning.
Yep. So Schoology assignments are currently available inside of the calendar. The tile has been developed. We're going through kind of a go-to-market process right now and talking internally about the way that we want to display it inside of my PowerHub. So those conversations are wrapping up. If there's any changes that result in that, it'll take a little bit more development work, but the idea is that we want to get it out as soon as possible. We believe that we have the basic need met with integrating the Schoology assignments inside of the calendar. However, we do want to have that additional power tile coming in the near future as well.
One other quick question that was brought up. There was some questions regarding what is included within the meta version versus what were paid add-ons. So yep. Like is fees included as part of the the free meta version? And then you were talking about like the chat features and those kinds of things. What are those involved?
Absolutely. So fees is included. It is a base power tile for PowerSchool Sys. We do have a paid add-on, right, which is payments. So if we, and so I was here for that part of the presentation, that information was correct. If you are using PowerSchool payments, where a parent would be able to come in and use the payment feature, that's a paid add-on, but the fees are coming from PowerSchool SIS, and that is just a base power tile. So you can see in this example, I do have some active fees that are currently available, and I can display those to the parent. The other paid features that I talked about were the communication features. So really, that's going to be your news feed. That's part of the Connect package, the calendar, and the directory. Those are all part of Connect. And then we have PowerSchool messaging, which you can purchase individually or part of what we call our Engage package. And Engage includes both PowerSchool messaging and Connect. Okay.
Oh, yeah, thank you. As far as questions.
Wonderful.
Oh, wait. Sorry, when will the My Power Hub app be available? So I can answer that. As far as a mobile app, uses the same mobile app that they already have. So if you decide that you want to use the mobile app with My Power Hub, you just let us know and we turn on that functionality in the background. So yeah, simple as that.
That's right. Yep. If your parents are using the PowerSchool app today, they already actually have it. It just has to be activated. Wonderful. Okay. So today, like I said, you get 3 URLs. This is the educator URL, and I've logged into an admin. So for those of you that I've already met with and we've implemented My Power Hub, you've heard me say this before. Today, there is no need for you to distribute the educator link to anybody but the admins. This portal is 100% blank for staff and teachers. The only thing that is in there today with the meta version that we have right now is this admin link. It's going to change, and I always say you may not, you don't, there is no need to distribute the educator link today, but you may change your mind in the very near future. So this is the administrative functions that we provide. So this is what we call Feature Manager, which allows you to turn power tiles off. So that example of you're not using fees, you can turn it off from the parent and student portal so that it's not a blank power tile. If you do have some of the additional communication settings, this is the directory where you can turn off what roles are returned inside of the search. And if you want to turn on or turn off the phone number and email address from displaying. This is how we manage those resource links that you saw that you can add the meta report card or into the app menu. Messaging settings is who can initiate conversations. There's some auditing features here as well. And this is our student information sync as we're pulling data from PowerSchool SIS. You can see a log, and then there's some role mapping functionality because as you know, PowerSchool SIS has unlimited roles and security groups. And in My Power Hub, we have a defined set of roles that we follow a 1 roster 1.2 standard here. So the changes that are coming today, if you do have the communication features, you land on the newsfeed. Then you have the directory, and then you have calendar. So this is the functionality that exists today inside of My Power Hub with the communication features that your educators may be using if you have the communication features. What's coming in the very near future, this is production. So you can see that it actually is live. We're changing the educator portal to introduce a homepage. And so now as an admin, I now have my overview page. I have a schedule, I have my news feed, and we're introducing and we've released PowerBuddy tools. So these are AI-assisted PowerBuddy tools that your educators can use to generate classroom activities, if it is generating communications to families, if it's assessments or tests or quiz. It's additional classroom tools that are available that are using our PowerBuddy AI. That your educators may want to take advantage of. That's pretty much it from an administrative perspective and a staff perspective, unless you have the communication features. So the communication features here, I can post to the newsfeed. We auto create all of the groups that you can use inside of newsfeed. They're all what we call roster-based dynamic groups. So we have groups for each one of your sections. We have school groups that your school administrators can use. We have district groups that your district administrators can use. And that's all about communicating out to the different schools, district, or their classes. Then we also have what we call user managed groups. So as a staff member, I'm able to create my own group like the volleyball team here. And I'm now able to use that group in things like PowerSchool messaging or newsfeed or in calendar. So the biggest change and the thing I think I'm most excited about is what I'm going to show you next. Hopefully I'm still logged in. Is we are changing the educator portal well. So like I said at the beginning, we started with the parent portal, student portal. And the idea being that it's a new modern interface and it starts to become a single pane of glass across PowerSchool products. And it integrates with our communication and engagement features so that you have additional tools to engage with your students and parents. This next version is the educator portal from a teacher's view. Like I said before, today, if you were to have the PowerSchool SIS Power Tiles only, this is a blank portal, unless you have the communication features. If you have the communication features, your teachers land on the newsfeed. And now what we are starting to do is with that homepage that we added, we're actually starting to provide a view of Power Teacher Pro to your teachers. So we're providing all of our Power Buddy tools for your teachers. We give them an overview of their courses with their individual sections. If you have the communication features, they have their newsfeed, they have their schedule. And now from here, I'm able to view my actual sections. So what we're able to do is we've now incorporated Power Teacher Pro. I can go and I can take attendance for my section. Let it load here. So I can take attendance directly inside of my Power Hub now. I can go to my grade book, which is taking me, I'm in an incognito window. So now I can do my grades. I can go back to my Power Hub. It's a seamless integration. I have a student roster of all of the students that are in this section. And I'm able to use my seating chart designer and create my seating chart directly inside of my Power Hub. What's really cool about this, in my opinion, is the students. So this is a roster of all of the students that I have. If you have the communication features, this is PowerSchool messaging. Without the communication features, you still have access to the email if an email is present on this student. So you would be able to email this student. I can quickly see that this student's guardians are listed here. I can click on them and now I could even message or email the guardians. But what is I think the biggest enhancement is now when I'm viewing one of these students, I'm just going to pick one. I'm actually taken into the student profile. Hopefully I haven't timed out. And now because I'm a teacher and this student is in my class, I now have a 365-degree view of this student. So I can see this student's attendance across all of their classes. I can see this student's grades across all of their classes. I can see this student's assignments across all of their classes. And now I can also see their contact information. So I can also view their guardians, or if I need to contact the student, I can contact the student as well. So this is the difference between when I said you may not want to share the educator portal with your teachers. Once we start to integrate, or once we start to roll this out, which, like I said, the development is done. We do have this live for a couple of our clients that are in our beta group, so that they're kind of testing it, playing with it, giving us any feedback. But the idea here is that we want to get this in your hands as quickly as possible so that you have the choice that you can start to send your parents to this new version of Power Teacher Pro as well. In addition to just having the courses and the classes, we also allow observations. So this is, if you're using PowerSchool SIS observations, this does allow any staff member to create an observation if they see a student running in the hall or bullying or something of that nature. And it follows the PowerSchool SIS observation flow. So those could be referrals. They could go up to the principals for inspection and for action if necessary. But that becomes a feature inside of my Power Hub as well. We also have available, and it's already in production. It's already out, and so any district could have it. We've integrated App Switcher inside of my Power Hub. So if you do have other PowerSchool other PowerSchool products, you can have your educators use the app switcher and they could navigate between applications. So in this version that I'm showing right now, I could link to PowerSchool SIS. And if I started in PowerSchool SIS, I could use app switcher and I could come back to the My PowerHub educator portal. And just like the parents, we're not restricting anything to just PowerSchool applications. You can add any applications that you see fit for your district that you want to publish to your educators as well. And that's all done through the administrative functions inside of resource links. And just like your parents, you can also publish resource links to educators as well. And they don't have to be the same resource links that go to parents or students. They can be staff links as well. I think that takes me to the end of my time and everything that I wanted to show. And I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, and thank you, Chris and Sally, for having me, about the future of My PowerHub and where we're going, so that you start to get it informed, you can start to make informed decisions about the course of action that you want to take for your district.
All right. Again, thank you so much, Brad. I really appreciate that. Just a couple of quick questions we had come up. One question was, can you control what parents show in the Guardian column, such as like custody check or what? How does it determine who should show up as a contact and who should?
It's a great question. So we take a relatively conservative approach. It requires that so we require 4 pieces of information before we bring them in as a guardian. Number 1, they're an active contact on a student record. Number 2, that they have an active web account. Number 3, that they have data access for the student and that the student record is activated for parent access. So essentially, it's all of your contacts that have access to the student data. Those are the ones that we bring into My PowerHub, and we consider them to be a guardian. Those are the 4 pieces of data that we're looking for in order for them to be available inside of My PowerHub.
All right. And then there was a clarifying question. Is PowerSchool messaging the same as School Messenger, or will School Messenger connect with My PowerHub?
Yep. Great question. I can try to share my screen again real quick. So here we have School Messenger. Here we have PowerSchool Messaging. So they both work inside of My PowerHub. And typically what I would say School Messenger is more designed for are your one-way broadcast messages. Those could be for an emergency such as a weather delay, school closing, transportation delays, but it's those big broadcast messages. In School Messenger, Communicate allows you to change the modality of those messages so that you can send them via SMS, you can send them via voicemail, you can send them via call, you can send them via email, right? And School Messenger inbox will display all of those messages. So it's available for your parents, your students, and your staff. We have the School Messenger inbox here. So all of those messages, regardless of the modality, display inside of School Messenger. And so it does work with My PowerHub. School Messenger Communicate is more of a chat. Typically, I would say that this is more of an intimate chat, right? It's a student and their guardians with the teacher. It's the teacher with a small group of students. We do allow you to communicate via chat, PowerSchool messaging with the section. So a teacher could start a chat with the entire section. There are controls inside of PowerSchool messaging that allow the teacher to select not to receive responses, so that it's more of a push notification or a push that would go to the students. However, I would challenge that if you have messaging, you most likely have newsfeed. Newsfeed's probably the more proper communication channel for something like a class announcement, something that you want to push out to a larger group. And again, with the groups functionality, you can create your own groups that you can use inside of newsfeed and calendar and PowerSchool messaging. So if it's the football team that you want to make a newsfeed post about the game that's coming up or the practice schedule or whatever, you could use the groups feature inside of newsfeed. It's not to say that you couldn't use it in PowerSchool messaging, but it's more of that chat functionality. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. And one thing I was going to mention regarding that messaging, of course, as we've already mentioned, it's not part of the base PowerSchool, but
That's correct.
One thing that I think is important to note with that messaging, unlike with some other third-party apps that are being used within schools for teachers to talk with parents, everything is logged. So if there's any question about what kind of communication happened between a teacher and a student or a parent and a teacher, admin staff that have the access could review those logs to verify what happened in that communication. So I just think that's a nice extra level of security for administrators.
That is
so yeah. Thank you, Brad, very much for your time. Really appreciate your time on all that. If you guys have any other questions, please, by all means, send those into us, and I'll make sure those get answered.
Thank you so much for joining us, Brad, and thanks, Chris. Yeah, just to reiterate what Chris had said at the beginning, implementing now, our goal is to have all of our districts implemented to My Power Hub by the end of this school year, sooner rather than later. Again, going through the implementation process is about an hour with Chris, with Brad. It is getting things set up, a time where you can ask some of those additional questions as you're going through some things. But once you're implemented, you're not turning it on for your parents and your students yet. It just means that we're getting things set up. You have access to it to start building in those resource links and ways for us to see how we can assist in getting this up and running as you need it to be configured. So reach out to Chris to get those implementations if you haven't done so yet. All right, perfect. And I think we're up to, we'll take just a little bit of a break. We'll have a 10-minute break here. So let's see, let's come back at about 10:43. So those of you with us, feel free to get a donut. Those online, we'll send a donut in the chat. So we'll see you in about 10 minutes. All right, so as everybody's coming back, we're going to continue on with our meeting. I hope everyone's back from online as well. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with our second portion of the district leader meeting. Want to come on back? All right, so the last few items that we want to go over this morning, we're of course going to talk about what's new in the customizations catalog. After that, Stephen Parpart, he'll be sharing some information with us about some upcoming trainings. We've mentioned the meta documentation site a few times, so he's going to walk through that as well as giving some test score loader updates as well. And then on the agenda here on your screens, you can see our next district leader meeting will be November 13th. That will be virtual. We will be getting that up onto our events calendar so you can register. Just so you know, we are utilizing a new system for entering our events and trainings onto the events calendar. So we are working through those as a team. So you can expect more information to come about how to register for things in the future. We'll be talking about that in December. So just giving you a little heads up, but we'll get the November meeting on there so you can register to attend virtually. And with that, we'll go ahead and talk about what's new in the customizations catalog for September. Yes, yes. We're a little bit behind on schedule. We do love to talk about customization, so we'll try and make sure that we keep it within our time restraints. We don't want to be here all day, but we love customizations. It's all about the goal of making things more efficient and user friendly in PowerSchool. So we like making people happy with these things. So let's talk about some things, some updates. If you'll remember back in May, for those of you, the district leaders that were with us, we gave some sneak peeks about some things that we were going to be working on this summer. And so those have come to fruition. So we're talking about those now. On the start page within the admin portal, you're familiar with seeing that Meta Solutions logo. You'll also be familiar with seeing that number badge there, letting you know updates are available. What we have done, we've added to that. So when you click on that Meta Solutions logo now from your start page only, you will see those updates listed. So if you have any installer updates, any community plugin updates, alert builder updates, if you've downloaded alerts from community and those that have built those alerts, if they've made any updates to that alert, or if they've enhanced it or they changed something, an update is available for you to review if you want to use it. So all of those updates are now going to be listed. All of those are links that will take you to those pages, installer, community plugins, and the alert builder. Here's a little side note, community plugins. Right now, if you do click on community plugins, we just found out this morning, it takes you to the catalog. So we are working on, it probably is already done at this point, where we have corrected that to take you to community plugins. So in your environments, you may see that there is an update in the installer. That is that community plugin link. That is the update that's available. Also within the slide out, the Meta Solutions slide out, you'll notice the catalog is now a link listed in the enabled customizations. So clicking on the catalog from that enabled customizations, that'll take you to our catalog main page. All right, so we have some report card bug fixes and updates that we have that we want to go over. If you were hiding a student's individual report card, if you were on a student page, the other info page, and you check mark the box to hide the current year report card, there was a bug. It was not hiding that student's report card. So that has been corrected and fixed. So you can hide individual cards now as needed. There was also a bug within the school header container of the report cards. So any bad characters in that header, it was causing the report card not to load. So that has been corrected, as well as There were a couple instances where the wrong student's school information was being displayed in the header. That was because, again, for summer school, we found this in the summer. If a student was enrolled in summer school, it was between those two buildings. So sometimes the incorrect school building was listed. So that has been corrected as well. We do have an enhancement to the report card. So now you are able to show grade and score descriptions. So if you want to see not just the letter grade, but those grade descriptions as well, you do have the option to show those. For standards, if it's M, for mastered, E for exceeds. If you want to see the word exceeds instead of an E on the report card, you now can select to show that description instead of or with the grade as well, or the score. So that's within the report card settings that you can select that. Also, with the report card, we have added, there we go. With the report card, we've added some to the settings, the beginning of the year settings. So previously, after your end of year was run, there were some settings that didn't roll over with the report card. So you would have to go in at the beginning of the year and you would have to reselect those settings for the current year after your end of year process was done. What we've added now is on the report card settings page, there is a place where you can migrate those settings over to the current year. So you'll see you have terms, final grades, and report card messages. So your terms would include your excluded terms, the school year, store code, any of those that were excluded before your end of year. You can migrate those after to your now current year. Your final grades includes your excluded final grades, again, migrating those over. And then your report card messages. If you're using the same message from year to year, header or footer at the district or the school level, and you want to use that year to year, you can migrate that over. You can select all of these or individually or combination, again, according to what you need for your report cards to migrate those over to the current year.
Will that be added to the end of the year?
Yes, yep. So we plan to update everybody at the end of year about the beginning of the year settings. Yep.
And coming attraction, we're going to be adding standards. So if you've got grayed out something last year, it would migrate to be grayed out this year, but that's not there yet.
All right. So also with the report card, we have added, if you are manually entering a student's grade on the historical grades page. So a student has come to your district and you're entering their grades from the previous school. You now have the option to exclude those grades from the meta report card. And this is on both the single and multiple entry pages. So on the historical page, historical grades page, you select single entry or multiple entries. You can now exclude those grades from the report card as needed. All right, student field value enhancement. So we had a question. Someone was trying to change the student field value. They were trying to update the records with an asterisk, and it was not working. The asterisk is a wild card. So we've added a message here on student field value. When you are trying to update a field that contains those wild cards, you'll now see the message, this selection contains a wild card, and then it gives you the directions on how to mass update those records. You can't use student field value for that, so it tells you here you can use Quick Import, Data Import Manager, or DDA to update those records in mass. Yeah.
Asterisk sometimes gets placed when there's no middle name.
Yes, middle name is an asterisk if they don't have one, correct? Yes.
That's causing data issue for Eric Winkler for us. And I was trying to get rid of them.
This could be a question, I'll ask it later, but.
I think it has to be, do you know EMIS wise, it has to be an asterisk, right? Yeah, it can't be blank. Yeah.
Can you put a period there?
Where was it causing issues at?
Somehow in his export account creation, all his behind the scenes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. If there are questions, have him reach out and we can help. But yeah, it can't be blank. So it does. Yeah. Good question. All right, Alert Builder. So again, in May, we kind of gave you a sneak peek that we would be working on a lot of things within the Alert Builder. So we want to share those updates with you. The alert icon size options. So now when you're building alerts, you can choose 6 different sizing options as needed. This is helpful when you're uploading your own images or icons. Sometimes you need them a little bit bigger or smaller. You want them to kind of match the other icons that are already there. So you can see there are a variety of sizes and what they look like. Your default is going to be kind of right there in the middle. And again, you can change those sizes as needed. Also, with the Alert Builder, the admin top row, this is an option. Again, when you're building an alert or you're opening one of your existing alerts, you will see an option there below for admin top row. What this does, it places the icon on the top row of the student pages within the admin portal. So within the admin portal, you'll see we see the student name and we see the student line and then the alert icons underneath. And then PowerSchool has the locate, the counselor, and the print icons there on the top row. You can now add alerts to that top row if you want as well. You'll notice when you use the admin top row option, it's going to color correct to the PowerSchool blue colors to match those PowerSchool icons. So we have this colorful bird here. It's going to color correct and it's going to be the PowerSchool blue on that admin top row. Now, if you have this alert and you push it out to your parent and student portals, it will still display, but it will be the colorful bird on the student line, under the student line with the other alert icons. So the top row, admin top row, is for admin portal only. We also have added a docked option. So with the Alert Builder, when you click on the alerts, you're used to a pop-up appearing with the information as needed on that alert. Now you can build an alert and have it be a pop-up as docked. So docked is that slide out drawer that will appear on your right-hand side of your student pages. You'll see that slide out drawer with the information that you want on the pop-up display. We also have an unlock UI option. So with the unlock UI, this unlocks the page, the student page that you're on. And when we say unlock, what that means is you're able to scroll and make edits as needed. So we have an admin top row alert. We click on it. We have our docked information here. We're looking at it. But now unlocking now allows us to scroll and make edits on the page. Previously, with the alert icons, you'll know that they pop up and the background kind of grays out and it's frozen, it's locked. So now you can unlock it as needed. Again, an admin top row icon. If it's a pop-up, you'll see your pop-up. But with the unlock UI, again, you're able to scroll up and down your page as needed. You can enter information and save those changes while the pop-up is still being displayed. So again, for data entry, if you have information on your pop-up and you want to enter stuff and see the pop-up at the same time, you can do that. And then once you submit your page or submit your changes as you'll see them, again, that's with the unlock option. All right, we've added some audit information to the Alert Builder. So created by and last modified info. So again, as you're building alerts or opening those other existing alerts, you'll see a created by and date. You'll see who created the alert, when it was created, and then you'll also see if it's been modified, when and by who. That information is at the bottom. With the alert builder, we've also added a checkbox option for Boolean simple triggers. So these are for the fields using those Boolean. And this is just to make triggering easier. So for example, in our picture, marching band, the comparator could have been, true, false, checked, or one, yes. So this checkbox now encompasses that. It makes it easier when selecting those fields.
You don't have to know what it was.
And with Alert Builder reports. So, if you're running Alert Builder reports, you make a selection of students on your start page, you navigate to the Alert Builder reports, and you select your alert that you're running a report for. And you could make those students your current selection. That's what we already had. Now what you can do is you can see we have 436 students on our page, and we ran the EpiPen alert for 4 of them. What we can do now is we can remove those 4 students from our selection. So if you need to have a group of students and you want to remove the students with a specific alert from your selection, you can now do that within the Alert Builder reports. Within Alert Builder community, we've built some alerts that are available for you to download and use as you would like within your districts. We have a Find Me alert and a Health Office Visits alert. So Find Me, Find Me is a PowerSchool alert, but you'll notice with our Find Me alert that we've built in the Alert Builder, it adds the school phone information to the pop-up. So if you want to have that information, you can download our Find Me alert. Also, what you'll notice with our Find Me alert, we just said earlier, PowerSchool's alerts will always display first on the top row. With our Find Me alert, if you are using it, it's going to hide PowerSchool's Find Me /locate alert. It's going to hide PowerSchool's, and it's going to append our Alert Builder Find Me alert at the end. So it's all looks the same. It's operating the same, but with additional information on the pop-up. With the health office visits, any of your health staff who need to know how many health office visits a student has had for this current year, you can use this alert, and it's going to display how many office visits that student has had. Contact photos. So again, something we told you we would be working on this summer. We've added the ability to upload contact photos to a contact record. So you can go to the contact record, click the upload, select your image, and you'll see it displayed there. This is individually. There is not a mass option for uploading contact photos, so it would be individually uploading those images. If your district is using that for parents, or what we've heard from volunteers, if you need to have that photo for when that volunteer comes in and you collect that information for the volunteer on a contact record, you can now add the photo as needed. All right, with state assessments. So with state assessments, as you'll see, as you scroll through students previously, it was defaulting back to the first tab of tests. What you can see now is whatever tab you are on looking at a student's assessments, and you scroll through your selection of students, it's going to keep you on that tab that you were on. Not only that, but it'll keep those performance levels. Again, if you're showing those or if you're hiding those, it's going to keep that information as you continue to scroll through your group of students. So again, if you have a group, you're looking for specific assessment information and you're going through each student, that's going to be helpful. All right, fee ledger. So we heard about this with our What's New from Margie and Sarah. So with PowerSchool now, within its most recent releases, there is a fee ledger. So this is the fee ledger number customization. For those of you that are using our fee customizations, you're using PowerSchool fees, you'll have those internal conversations. Do you want to keep using our customization, or do you want to migrate your data to PowerSchool's now that PowerSchool has the fee ledger? I think, like Sarah had mentioned, our fee ledger allows for 40 plus characters. So if you have a lot of information, you may want to keep that.
There's no migrate process. So you'll see our ledger number, you'll see their ledger number field. If you want that information that you have in the ledger number put into the ledger number field, you need to do it. We don't have a automatic process that will pick it up and move it.
Yeah, no easy button on that. It would be, manually inputting those in. Also with fees, we've added to the fee types page. You can see there has been added an initial field value and a no longer in use checkbox. So again, those of you using fees, you can use those fields as needed when you're entering those fee types. We've also added additional columns to the fee types page. This is at the school level. So at the school level, looking at those fee types, you will now see 3 new columns: the description, the ledger, and the no longer in use columns. If you have flagged any as no longer in use, you'll see them on this page. All the way at the bottom, you see that green check box. That's going to let you know that that fee type is no longer in use. It's a little difficult to tell, but if you see the field trip fee type here, it is in black text. You can't click on it. That's letting you know that's a district fee. So again, this is at the school level. All of our fee types are hyperlinks so we can, open them. But the field trip, because it's a district fee, it is just the black text there. And on the fee transactions page, we've updated the school column to display the school that the fee was assessed. That will be accurately displayed here. So our student who was at the middle school transferred to the high school, we can see the fees were assessed at the middle school accordingly. With our fee history page, again, the student fee history page, that school column will, again, it'll show the school that the fee was assessed at. But also, if you're on a page, a student has numerous fees, you're going to see this header row. It's going to stay there at the top. So as you scroll up and down the page, you're going to be able to see those headers still display, help you look at the information on the page. We have some reminders. Report card season is right around the corner. So we would encourage and strongly suggest that if you're using the Meta report cards, please look at your report cards now for each grade level. Take a look. Are they displaying as you would like them to? If you need any updates or changes, you can go to the report card settings, make those changes as needed, go back to the report card, refresh the page, and take a look. And again, make sure it's how you want it. If there are things that you need assistance with helping, we're happy to help in getting your report cards set up as you need it to. We encourage you. We're ready to do that now. We're ready to get those updated for you. When it is time, the end of the term, you're storing grades, you're getting ready to print report cards or release those to the parents. It's a very short time window that all that needs to happen. And if there's something that we need to assist with, it's nice to have some runway to get that done now instead of waiting.
Please.
The alert builder updates. Again, we said from the start page, you're going to be able to see if you have any updates to alerts that you've downloaded from community. So you click on that alert builder link from the start page, you're going to be taken to the alert builder. You're going to see, you're on your alerts tab. You're going to see right there the green download update option for those alerts that you have. You're also going to see that within the community. So if you're on the community tab and you see there is an alert that you've already downloaded, there's an update available, you're going to see that in green. And our last reminder is community plugins. Again, checking those external plugins, seeing if you have updates, if there's updates detected that are available. With those plugins, we know that there are times that there are bug fixes that are important that you would want to make sure that you have installed and enabled the updated version that fixes that bug. So we encourage you to go to community plugins, take a look at what updates you have and update accordingly. And then, as always, a copy of this presentation's in our documentation, as well as the recording will be on our YouTube channel. And please just reach out with any questions you have. Is there anything?
Yeah.
Yep.
So customizations are so awesome and they're so fun. And we love all our developers, but I think we need to acknowledge the brilliant mind of Corey Hilliard, who makes all these possible. Yay, Corey. And then we would also like to thank those of you who have given us suggestions, who've said, hey, wouldn't it be nice if you could do yada, yada, yada? Because obviously we can't think of everything. But again, Corey's just been amazing, and we're very proud of our customizations.
Yeah, a lot of hard work goes into it. We are super proud of what's in the catalog, and we're working on making those items within the catalog stronger, enhanced, and even better than ever. So our focus, yeah, we like customizations and talking about it. So yeah,
it's the fun part of our job.
Yes. All right, and I think with that, I'll stop my share. And then Stephen, I'm going to mute myself.
All right, can we hear me? Somebody give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me. I just want to make sure everybody's able to. There we are. Cool. All right. I was driving to work this morning, and Lisa, this may look familiar to you because this is a view not far from where we live. I just happened to stop, and I was like, you know what? I got to get a picture of that. It's beautiful. So just wanted to share that. Moving on. So I have, I get to talk about a few different things today. Some are kind of general to just to kind of beginning of the year type stuff, reminders, but some are very specific. So I'm going to go through how to access the meta documentation. This will be especially helpful to our newer users, but also just as a reminder. And then I'm going to talk about our test conversion program update that many of you in the room and virtually have helped us out with. We really appreciate that. So I'll give a couple shout outs there. And then we're going to look to the future and talk about our upcoming trainings for this fall. All right, so let's start with accessing documentation. So currently, you can access our meta documentation through PowerSchool, through the PowerSchool help menu, and I'll demonstrate where that is in a moment here. It's only available to our meta customers, so you have to be logged in to a PowerSchool environment that's supported by Meta in order to have that. It is a customization for our customers only, and it's pretty robust. And I think last time I looked before last school year ended, we had like 360 some documents, and I looked this morning, we have 399. So we just keep adding more step sheets and more resources, pulling things from different places, creating new things, but also anything regarding this very meeting that we're in, the district leader meeting, is found in a place like that as well. So again, I'll show you some examples of that. And then just a screenshot for you before I get there. This is where it's found. So again, the PowerSchool help menu meta documentation. And this is what it's going to look like when you pull that up. You're going to see I really like the filters, which I'll show you how to use, the filters and the search for the documents you're looking for. The search is going to look through all the categories that you see listed in the columns, but also the titles of the documents. So, and we've done some editing and some updates of the way we're labeling our documents over the summer. So hopefully a little bit easier to find, a little bit easier to navigate within our documents for what you're looking for. So that's just a screenshot there. Now I'm going to stop my slideshow and show you what that looks like in PowerSchool. So I'm just in a test database here that we use for various things, and I'm going to navigate over to where I showed you the meta documentation menu. And here's the search I was mentioning. So this morning we had a presentation about bell schedules. And so if I were to, for example, look up the word bell, I would get anything with the word bell schedule in it. So I see bell schedule setup. I see what I presume to be Lindsay's presentation from this morning about bell schedules for September 2025 district leader meeting. Anytime you see a month and year at the very beginning of a file name, you can bet that that's for a district leader meeting. That's how we've been tagging them. But more importantly, just to realize is if you look in those columns to the right, core area, district leader meeting is where you'll find all of the resources for today, but also for past meetings. So, and just to demonstrate that using kind of a similar example, I can say district leader here in the search, and you're going to get anything that has the word district leader either in the title or in one of those fields listed in the columns to the right. So just some ideas. We're getting up into, I always use this as an example because it's the world I live in. We're coming up on scheduling season for the following year. So if I start typing the word schedule, you're going to get anything that has schedule in any of those columns, but also in the title as well. So utilize this as a resource. Again, there's 399 documents as of last I looked this morning, and we just keep adding more. Please make your users aware of that, most importantly today. So again, the people I'm speaking to in the room and virtually today probably already know about all this. But I do want you to know that if you haven't seen it yet, there's a brief YouTube video on our YouTube channel where I basically walk through the same thing I just walked you through. It's just a couple of minutes. If you simply send that link out to especially your newer users, newer admin users, I think that could be really beneficial for all of us, including yourselves, to help your users, give them some resources on where they can find information, step sheets, just get some help, another resource out there. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to my presentation here. All right. And just a quick plug again, I know Sally's mentioned this earlier, for our YouTube channel where you'll find any virtual trainings we've done, we've recorded at least once. And so you can review past trainings there. I mentioned an example of a quick tip video, such as looking through our documentation, but there's a lot of others out there. I know the environment that we live in, we just want our answer. We want to get our answer. We want to get on. We want to get the information we need and go back to our jobs, right? So we've started to make some kind of quick tip videos that you'll find on there. We also record this very district leader meeting, and we put that out there for anybody who's missed. So if you have fellow district leaders who couldn't make it, weren't able to be here virtually or in person today, you can refer them there. But and more is coming. So I'll talk about other types of trainings here in a moment. and those will be available on the YouTube channel as well, recorded. So great idea to, again, share it with your users. All right, so the next topic I'm here to discuss this morning is the test conversion project. Some of you are very well aware of what I'm referring to when I say those words. Some of you may not have any idea, and some of you may just kind of be, well, I've heard it at past district leader meetings, but not really sure how it applies to me. So the goal of the project I have here is that districts will be able to import their state test scores, their ACTs, their SATs, and other types of test scores into the core side of PowerSchool. Now, I make that designation because it's already required for most of these scores to be imported for your state reportable screens, so your FA screen. And as you saw earlier, I think once or twice in the presentation so far, we also now have a way to pull student FA or state reportable score data into the different portals, like the teacher portal and the public portal. So you may be wondering why we would want to put test scores into the core side. Well, this is honestly, it's a preference of a district. You can have it in both places. You have to have it in your state reportable screens. But if you do want it on the core side, which I think was a lot more common a couple of years ago before we've had this development that we have now to utilize the FA screen data. But again, I just want to make that distinction. What I'm talking about here and now is different from the state reportable screens. So if you want your student score data to display on the admin side in the test results student screen, and you want it to display in the public portal or the teacher portal on the test results page per student, then this is where you would need to get your test data. So right now, we are having district leaders submit their test scores to our team, and we can share and we can import that test score data with you, or for you, I should say, for you. But I do want to shout out our districts. We've had a lot of districts here in the room and virtually who have really helped us out in this project in the past year. To name a few, we have Westerville, Delaware, Grandview Heights, Shaker Heights, Upper Arlington, Zanesville. So a lot of, and probably more that I'm missing right now. They have given us test score data from their own district so that we could basically test importing the data and finding bugs. And right now, to be honest, we're in the fine tuning phase. So we're fine tuning it to make this work better for the districts, more efficient. And what we all love is easier. So an easier process for you as well. So that's where we're at right now. Just an important point I want to make here in the present phase, and this will just be moving forward. When you go get your Ohio State testing data to import, please don't open it in Excel and resave it. Opening your data in Excel and resaving it will change the formatting. And that is the most common issue we see when we receive test score data. And so if you would like us to import your data, simply use the instructions found in our documentation, search export OST in our documentation, and it gives you step-by-step instructions. Again, shout out to Grandview Heights, their testing coordinator helped us develop those instructions. It's hard for us because we can't see what you see when you go out to those websites unless one of you show us what you can see. And so we went through that process, created some step sheets with screenshots recently. So again, if you want us to import OST, ACT, SAT data, MAP, PSAT, ASVAB, we've been in the process creating test mappings basically so that it can take that raw score data and convert into something PowerSchool likes and will import for us into this core screen. So it's a little bit more technical than I imagined when I started, when I joined this project a while back. But we really appreciate all the help we've had. Corey and Zach, Steve and Sally have been, Helen have all really helped in this project as well. And I think we're in the fine tuning phase. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting when I get a test score file and I import it and it looks so beautiful and it does exactly what we expected, right? So that's what we're trying to do for you. In the future, district leaders will be trained and have instructions on how to import using the new program. We're not quite there yet where we're just going to open it wide open. Now, some of you have used the program. Again, our beta districts, some of the ones mentioned earlier, have used it, and again, helped us find bugs. But we're just not quite ready to open it wide for everybody to start using. But we are ready for more test score files. So just send those our way using the ps.support email address, and we will get those imported for you. So I think I have roughly 5 cases to work on today with test scores today and tomorrow. So there's plenty coming in, but we'll take more and we'll get those imported for you or let you know what the status is. Any questions about our test score conversion project? I guess I did want to show you what that looks like over here as well. Okay, so this is a test environment. It's all fake data, as you know. So we got these silly names of students here, but we're going to go to data algorithm here. And I did want to show you what this looks like on their screen now. OSTs, for example, what we've done is we've created these new tests individually per actual subject area / grade level. So it says OST at the beginning for the designation, and then the, whether it's a high school end of course exam or it's like a grade 3 ELA, it'll be designated on there. Those of you who've been around a couple years will remember, if you look just a little bit higher up, we used to have all the scores that would just go into one record. So it would be a long list of about 120 subscores and scores. And we thought it might be easier if you could just come to this test results screen and see what date the student took the score on. And just as always, when you click into there, you will see their score on that particular test and the subscores over here. And so the same goes for ACT and SAT and any of the others I've mentioned already. But these are, what we're doing is we're building these mappings. We're also building these tests to bring them into your environment. So moving forward, this is more what it'll look like for you on the test results page. Again, I don't want anybody to get this confused with this page over here that was shown earlier. This is an awesome newly developed page that's pulling from the FAA data or the state reportable data. So should be the same information, but just displayed in a different way. It just depends on where you want it in PowerSchool. All right. And I think, I'm going to show you one more thing. So anyone who has access to the district office and has access to the screen could see all of the tests or the type of tests that they have in their district. And so I just want to point out again, we've now built all these tests that as you give us your score files, we are putting into your system so that it kind of makes more sense for the whole process. So I just wanted to show you that as well. Any questions there? All right. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But
we have not created the mapping for Iowa because we don't have so that's a great question, Katie, because if you send us those scores, the score data in a file, we can then create the mappings for it. I think iReady is a good example of a test that not everybody uses, but one of our districts shared their iReady score data with us. And so we were able to create mappings around that score data. Yep, that would be great. Thank you. That would be helpful for us. And that would be helpful for other districts that we serve as well. There is a community aspect to this test builder, this mapping builder. And once I create the Iowa test mapping, for example, that will be shareable and downloadable for any other district that we serve. So that's that community aspect, like you've seen with the alert builder. It's such a great feature. So you're not all recreating the same tests. And fortunately, we're not creating the same tests in every single district. We're just pulling them from others. Yep.
Individualized OSTs.
Uh-huh.
Very generalized.
There's not. We had to make a decision, Rich, to whether to go one way or the other. So the full OST would have been, again, every sub-score over 101 in one page. And we realized quickly last spring that if we opened up both options as mappings, then the system wasn't going to know which one to do. And when you import test scores, you might do it differently than, I don't know, your testing coordinator that imports them. And then you'd have kind of a mix of general OST scores on that test result screen per student versus an individualized subject area. And we just thought that might get a little complicated. So this is the decision. This is the path we decided to go with it.
Because you were asking, you don't know how districts use this.
Yeah.
In the past, only stuff out of an easy way to get the math and English
Mm-hmm.
by doing an export and using the test results layout.
Uh-huh.
It was has name, subject area, and then like best result, whatever, best date, all those types of things. You're pulling that info
Mm-hmm.
for like a presidential excellence or an honor certificate or something from the district.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to get that format for building admins to review, to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, how do I get there? Is it still the same kind of thing? I need to know, I need to now know this new subject area. Test name, subject area, go down the line saying, is the format still the same?
How do you pull that? Yeah. How do you pull that data?
Like I said, it's usually an export. I've got a template built.
Okay.
And it was the old template of OCBA and
Mm-hmm.
like I said, OCBA. Test equals OCBA, subject equals, math.
Yeah.
And that was, I was wondering if are we still doing the same thing for this?
That's a great question. Can you send me a case with that information on what you're pulling, how you're pulling it, and then I will see how this. Yeah. Well, yeah, how you did. And I think we can make that work, but I'll have to look into it. But that's a great use case for something that I wouldn't know. So I'm really glad you brought it up, because if you're using it, chances are someone else was doing the same thing.
Well, it's like I said.
Mhm.
For the qualifier.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And you have scores using the new mappings, using those new tests, right? Okay, I thought so. I'm pretty sure I've done some for yours. All right. Yeah. If you could send that to me in a case, I'll take a look at it.
Looks like you'd probably have data access time, which you would use the area of OCBA. That would the name would just change to the new one. And then previously you would be using the specific test score, which was like a longer. Now it would be much shorter, so it'd be just geometry. So yeah, you would just update your name and then your area. But it's the same data access tag. It's in the same data. It's in the same data. Just new names and new areas. And it's still using the tests data access.
Okay. Thanks, Corey. Okay. Go ahead. I can't see it, so.
Okay. No. Yeah, it posted this here, so I don't know who's got the.
So if you could refer that question to EMIS, regarding the grad seals and how you track that, they would have an answer for you.
She can submit a ticket.
Okay. Nicole, if you can submit a ticket on that question, we will look into that for you. All right, so the regarding the Iowa conversion to Ohio State testing, that's going to be an EMIS question. Please submit that to EMIS. I'm glad we have an EMIS person here in the room.
Give all the tickets to hell.
Yeah. Anything else, Sarah? Yeah.
Also with EMIS. Oh,
So we have been pushing the department of, I know I'm preaching to the choir to my friends, but we don't have that information. You know, it really needs to be a collective effort between, at this point, between the districts and their so I don't have an answer for that question. I do definitely see it.
because the law is supposed to be effective the end of this month.
Yeah.
And we haven't really been given any direction, yeah.
From the department. I'll actually make a note to bring that up on our next call with Anita.
Because like in a course setup section, there's the CTE as a college course. Is that how we're supposed to designate?
Well, CTAGs are also really unique because the credit has to be articulated by the college. So you wouldn't know, the career center wouldn't know unless you literally reached out to the college and said, hey, are you articulating this credit? So it is a very complicated process at the moment, but absolutely see what the department has to offer as far as guidance. And Steve, I don't think.
I'm just gonna summarize. So the question in the room was regarding CTAG credit between career centers and locally in the school district, and how we're tracking that within PowerSchool. So a little bit of a separate topic. So, but we don't have all the clear answers from ODE right now on that we would need. All right, and that's just a view, going back to the test conversion project, that's just a view of what our loader looks like. It will look like in your system, showing what's been imported, what still is yet to import, how it matches the data to your students in your system. You can manually match students if and when needed. So, because sometimes names are different or grade levels or other identifying information doesn't match. So you can manually match when needed, but we've worked a lot of the bugs out on the matching. I think it works great. You're seeing unmatched on my screen because it's out of a test district. This is not a district that matches in our test district. So it normally say matched. All right, and the other topic I wanted to share with you is upcoming meta trainings. So 3 different types I want to talk about. One is kind of it's a single type of training I want to get advertised here today while I have you in front of me. We offer each year in the fall in August and September something, what we're now calling PowerSchool 101. It was formerly called Initial Product Training, or IPT. It is a very similar training, just in that it's for new and newer users to basically show them around PowerSchool, the basic functionality, where to get basic reports, how to find students, groups of students, what some things you can do with groups of students once you have them in your selection. That is a full day training that's coming up this Tuesday. So how many of you, by a show of hands in the room, have new users in your district that use the admin portal? Does anybody? Okay, I saw 5, 6, 7 hands, maybe some different districts. So If you have new users who use the admin portal, so I'm not talking about teachers who only use Power Teacher Pro, but admin portal users, this could be beneficial. I really think it would be to get some training on basic navigation and grabbing students in a selection in PowerSchool. That's coming up Tuesday. A handful of us are going to be teaching that one. I also want to put in a plug for the Power Hour training. So Power Hour is something we mentioned last school year that we are now implementing. We have several coming up. I have a list on the next slide of ones that are coming up, and they're on our calendar right now. Power Hours are what we're calling these shorter form trainings. So anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour 15, let's say, plus maybe some Q&A at the end. Basically some short form training. So we're not talking half days here. We're not talking full days, just a virtual, get on a training for an hour, learn some quick tips and tricks that's applicable to your position. This is open to all of your users, just like PowerSchool 101. So please get this information out to your users that these trainings would apply to. Again, I'll show you on the next page, but we've got a series coming up in the next 2 months for counselors. So a couple of 1 hours on just things that could be helpful to their position. And when I say counselors, I'm really talking about counselors and other counselor support staff and other admin users that work with students, basically, work with students individually or in groups. So check out our Power Hours on our calendar. And then beginning in November, you always hear this from either Kim or I, especially this time of year, we're going to start up Power Scheduler trainings and work days in November. So the first week in November, that's coming. And please, please, please send us your changes in Power Scheduler staff. So basically our expectation is that you have 1, 2, or 3, I know larger schools have a few more, Power Scheduler staff that is attending the trainings, coming to the work days, working on their schedule for next year. So again, when I say Power Scheduler, those of you who are newer, I'm talking about scheduling for the next school year out. We're not talking about live side scheduling, not elementary, Power Scheduler only. That's beginning in November. We have an overview the first week coming in November. And then from there, we have these step-by-step trainings and work days that our schedulers are invited to. And those dates will come at you when we have your list, your updated list of schedulers. So Kim will be sending out an email right around the 1st of October to ask you for your Power Scheduler staff changes. And that's how we'll update our email list. And then all communication won't have to go through you as the district leaders. We can get the messages to you and directly to your schedulers. So that will really help us out to know that when you know who your schedulers in each building are, please share that with us. Again, you'll get an email reminder in early October to get us that information. And again, as promised, these are the upcoming trainings that we have on the schedule for core PowerSchool. Again, this is Power Scheduler aside. This is only core. So we have 101 coming up on this Tuesday. We have the helpful student screens for counselors Power Hour in a couple of weeks. We are trying this new set of work days as well called Q&A. So the third one on that list on September 30th is more like a virtual session to just come and ask questions about pieces of PowerSchool that were covered in the 101 training. So if your users can't make the 101 training on Tuesday, again, like I said earlier, we have them all recorded on YouTube. I understand that it's a long video to sit there and watch, which is why we've started to break some of these things out into shorter form trainings. But again, 2 options to do our 101 training this coming Tuesday for your newer users, and the video is on YouTube. And then a series of other Power Hours as you got on the list there. Just wanted to put in a plug for that. Any questions about upcoming trainings, core, Power Scheduler, or anything else? No.
More of a comment. I've been directing new users to the help and going to the meta documentation and
Great.
YouTube content. Just might want to clear out some of the old stuff that was still the old format, new UI, old UI.
The old documentation.
Yeah, so that.
I agree, 100%.
New user.
Yep.
them wanting to.
So the comment in the room is that we need to look at our documentation and make sure that the documentation that's out of date is cleared out or updated. I agree with that. There's a few documents I've come across. Oh, videos? Okay. Good to know, because we've tried to go through and hopefully in the last 2 months you have it. Have you seen those in the last 2 months, Rich, by any chance? Because a couple of us went. Okay. Okay. So we'll look back at that. So we'll go through our YouTube channel trainings and make sure that the old videos with out-of-date information, like the old interface, is cleared out or hidden, as we would do. And then same with our documentation. There's a couple of documents at least that I know need updated or cleared out that pertain to the old UI. Good feedback. Thank you. All right. Anything else? Those are the topics that I had to cover. Did we have anything in the chat, Sarah?
There's some, but, because I put a ticket in about it because I had some high school that was questioning the different things. Even though the documentation on, Odoo's site says implemented changes next year, basically, there will be a couple that'll be sending out information that will be effective this year. Like driver's education and a couple of others.
Excuse us, because it's not even an absence, it's
But it's not
exempt.
changing
It's a ODE thing. As long as it's not.
It's for 2026,
or-
27.
Yeah, it's basically, you're not. It can't be any part of any graded period.
But there's a lot.
There's a lot.
So attendance changes per ODE are coming down the pike at the end of this month. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Okay, from the Senate bill. I'm repeating so that everybody online can hear what we're talking about in the room. Yep. All right. Yep. We will look out for those changes and see how we can help. Put in cases if we can help specifically with PowerSchool issues.